Have you ever wondered what went into the classic acoustic guitar sound of players like Bill Withers, Paul Simon, Cat Stevens, Joni Mitchell and others? Well, in this video I'm going to look at the ingredients of these iconic acoustic voices in how to get a classic acoustic guitar sound. I know a lot of us grew up on beautiful acoustic guitar sounds, and while I do love an album recording as much as the next player, there's something about those live studio sessions that's kind of raw, kind of magical. So I've decided to see what I can learn by using the same techniques. I've chosen to use my signature model by Jason Costel, the MDW, for this video. The main reason for that is that it has maple back and sides, and that's going to give me those beautiful woody tones that you hear in these recordings. For the strumming parts, I'm also going to use quite a light pick. This is a 0.6mm, and I'm hoping that that's going to give me some of that really sweet, almost percussive attack that you hear. I keep my nails short and polished, but some players back in the day, like Townes Van Zandt for instance, used a whole handful of finger picks, whereas Bridget St. John and others did use longer nails. I guess that's a matter of personal taste these days. This approach has got nothing to do with effete niceties like a stereo mic pair or even a pickup. In fact, we're going to go really old school. We're going in with just one mic. For maximum effect, you could use some sort of weird-looking gooseneck mic like an AKG D590 or even a C30, but this is not my area of expertise. These sessions were filmed before I was born, and quite frankly, I've never seen one of these mics, let alone used one in a professional setting. Instead, I'm going to use a single Microtech FL M300. At least I know how they work. For these recordings, I'm going to move the mic a bit further back than I usually would. The main reason for this is that I'm going to be flying in the face of accepted good microphone technique. And instead of pointing this single mic to the body joint of the guitar, I'm going to let it see a lot more of the sound hole than I usually would. I can also start experimenting with the angle. I'm going to move it a little bit towards the treble side, and hopefully that will mean that the bass register of the guitar is slightly smoother, being a little off axis, whereas the trebles should come through very clearly. I'll try this position for the fingerstyle parts, but for the strumming parts I've decided to point the mic directly at the center of the sound hole. I've never tried this before. Let's see what happens. I'm hoping this will let me get quite a bit of volume and punch to the sound. Just look at the mic positioning on this classic Neil Young session. Bonkers, isn't it? But I'm prepared to try it in the name of fun. Unlike the vocals that often had a lot of reverb on them, the acoustic guitar seems to be pretty dry, and I'm just going to leave it that way. If that goes against your recording ethics, feel free to use just a little kiss of plate reverb, but I'm going in completely natural. And as a bit of a change, I'm actually in standard tuning today rather than DADGAD, and I've come up with this little idea in order to try out these techniques. We're basically moving from a D chord to a C and then a G. Simple enough, but I think it works. Finally, and I can't stress this too strongly, I'm using 80/20 bronze strings. Those smooth sounding beautiful phosphor bronze strings that you love, they weren't invented until 1974, so those classic recordings prior to that were all done on bronze. Now I'm using Elixir strings here because they're my string of choice. Feel free to go unwound if you want. So let's see what we've got. If you found this video interesting, entertaining or informative, please do subscribe to support my channel. Drop me a like and tell me your favourite vintage acoustic guitar recording. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay tuned.